In the last episode, 3 visitors came to Abraham's tent and announced that Sarah would have a son within the year. Sarah laughed in disbelief. Abraham interceded for Sodom, but fewer than 10 righteous were found there. Fire rained down from heaven, and only Lot and his daughters escaped. Now the promise comes to pass. The Lord is gracious to Sarah as he said, and he does for her what he promised. Sarah becomes pregnant and bears a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised. Abraham names him Isaac, which means he laughs. When the boy is 8 days old, Abraham circumcises him, as God commanded. Abraham is 100 years old when Isaac is born. Sarah says, "God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me." Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age. The impossible has happened. The barren woman holds a child. The child grows, and on the day he is weaned, Abraham holds a great feast. But Sarah sees Ishmael, the son of Hagar, mocking. She says to Abraham, "Get rid of that slave woman and her son, for that woman's son will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac." The matter distresses Abraham greatly, because Ishmael is his son too. But God says to him, "Do not be so distressed about the boy and your slave woman. Listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. I will make the son of the slave into a nation also, because he is your offspring." Early the next morning, Abraham gives Hagar food and a skin of water. He places them on her shoulders and sends her off with the boy. She wanders in the desert of Beersheba. When the water in the skin is gone, she puts the boy under one of the bushes. Then she goes off and sits down a distance away, for she thinks, "I cannot watch the boy die." She begins to sob. God hears the boy crying. The angel of God calls to Hagar from heaven. "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation." Then God opens her eyes, and she sees a well of water. She fills the skin with water and gives the boy a drink. God is with the boy as he grows up. He lives in the desert and becomes an archer. Years pass. Isaac grows. Abraham's joy deepens. And then God speaks again. "Abraham, here I am. Take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you." The words hang in the air. The son of promise, the miracle child, the laughter of Sarah. Sacrifice him? Early the next morning, Abraham gets up and loads his donkey. He takes 2 servants and his son Isaac. He cuts enough wood for the burnt offering and sets out for the place God told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looks up and sees the place in the distance. He tells his servants, "Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship, and then we will come back to you." Abraham takes the wood and places it on Isaac's back. He himself carries the fire and the knife. As they walk together, Isaac speaks, "Father?" "Yes, my son. The fire and the wood are here, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham answers, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." They reach the place God told him about. Abraham builds an altar and arranges the wood. He binds his son Isaac and lays him on the altar, on top of the wood. He reaches out his hand and takes the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord calls out to him from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham, here I am. Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son." Abraham looks up and sees a ram caught by its horns in a thicket. He takes the ram and sacrifices it as a burnt offering instead of his son. Abraham names that place, "The Lord will provide." And to this day it is said, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." The angel of the Lord calls to Abraham a second time. "I swear by myself," declares the Lord, "that because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies. And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me." Abraham returns to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba, where Abraham settles. The test is over. The son lives, and the promise is confirmed. Thank you for listening to this episode about the birth of Isaac and the sacrifice. If this retelling of Genesis chapters 20 through 22 stirred something in you, please consider subscribing and sharing this video with others. In the next episode, Sarah will die, and Abraham will seek a wife for Isaac from among his own people, sending a servant on a journey of faith.